When driving in fog, it is best to drive with A. High beam headlights. B. Low beam headlights. C. Four-way flashers. B. Low beam headlights. Use your low beam headlights when driving in fog, rain, or snow. High beam lights can reflect off the weather conditions, lowering visibility even more. If you encounter a dust storm while driving, you should A. Be cautious and drive through it, since dust storms usually don't last very long. B. Slow down, carefully pull completely off the road, turn off your lights, take your foot off the brake, and wait until the storm passes. C. Slow down, carefully pull completely off the road, turn on your lights, and wait until the storm passes. B. Slow down, carefully pull completely off the road, turn off your lights, take your foot off the brake, and wait until the storm passes. If you encounter a severe dust storm, you should immediately reduce your speed, drive completely off the highway, stop as far to the right as possible, taking care not to stop in the travel or emergency lanes, turn off your lights, take your foot off the brake, remain in the vehicle with your seat belts buckled, and wait until the dust storm has passed. As your speed increases, it is important to A. Turn on your headlights. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. C. Change lanes frequently. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. Your vehicle's stopping distance increases as your speed increases. When driving at high speeds, it is important to look well ahead of your vehicle to allow yourself space to safely react to hazardous situations. A solid yellow line on your side of the centerline means A. Reduce your speed. B. Traffic light ahead. C. Do not pass. C. Do not pass. Solid yellow lines on two-lane roads indicate zones where passing is prohibited. If a solid yellow line appears next to a broken yellow line, drivers in the lane nearest to the solid yellow line may not pass. In some instances, both yellow lines will be solid, indicating that it is not safe to pass from either direction.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
If you experience a tire blowout, A. Tap or pump the brakes. B. Slow down gradually and use your brakes lightly. C. Apply the brakes firmly and quickly. B. Slow down gradually and use your brakes lightly. If you experience a tire blowout, you should slow down gradually by taking your foot off of the accelerator. Don't apply the brakes until the vehicle has slowed considerably. This sign shows one type of A. Right turn. B. Intersection. C. Lane change. B. Intersection. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that your current road ends at an intersection straight ahead. Slow down and prepare to yield or stop before turning right or left. A vehicle suddenly cuts in front of you, creating a hazard. What should you do first? A. Honk and step on the brake firmly. B. Take your foot off the gas pedal. C. Swerve into the lane next to you. B. Take your foot off the gas pedal. If a vehicle merges in front of you too closely, take your foot off of the accelerator. This will create space between you and the vehicle ahead without requiring you to slam on your brakes or swerve into another lane. When approaching an intersection that is controlled by a flashing red traffic signal, you must A. Come to a complete stop. Yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, then proceed. B. Reduce your speed and proceed with caution. C. Come to a complete stop and remain stopped as long as the light is red. A. Come to a complete stop. Yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, then proceed. Treat a flashing red traffic signal the same as you would treat a stop sign. Come to a complete stop. Yield to oncoming traffic or pedestrians, and proceed when the way is clear. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should A. Not turn your steering wheel. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. C. Turn your steering wheel to the right to correct the skid. If you are being passed in a no-passing zone, you should A. Pull off the road. B. Maintain your speed and position. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. Passing areas are based on how far ahead drivers can see. Allow the passing vehicle to re-enter the drive lane as easily as possible to help everyone avoid potential upcoming hazards. You should signal to turn. Fill in the blank before beginning the turn. A. 20 feet. B. 50 feet. C. 100 feet. C. 100 feet. When you wish to change lanes or make a turn, signal to inform other motorists of your intention. Signals should be activated at least 100 feet before you make the turn. Continue signaling until you have completed the turn or lane change. This sign means A. No right turn. B. Right turn on red light permitted with caution. C. All traffic must turn right at next intersection. A. No right turn. Signs with a red circle and diagonal line over a black symbol indicate that the action represented by the symbol is prohibited. In this case, the sign indicates that right turns are prohibited. This sign means A. Stop. B. Merge. C. Upcoming change in direction. A. Stop. An 8-sided red sign means stop. What does this road sign mean? A. Winding road. B. Loose gravel. C. Slippery when wet. C. Slippery when wet. This sign indicates that the road may be slippery when wet. Exercise caution when driving on a slippery road. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. If you become drowsy while driving, you should A. Try to fight it. B. Take a break. C. Take some caffeine pills. B. Take a break. If you start to feel tired while driving, drive to the first available rest stop or service area to take a break, nap, stretch, or change drivers. You should not rely on caffeine pills or energy drinks, as these are not a replacement for rest and may make your driving even more dangerous. Just like alcohol and other drugs, drowsiness can A. Help you to be a better driver. B. Make you feel better. C. Impair your judgment. C. Impair your judgment. Not getting enough sleep is a cause of poor driving behavior. Just like drugs and alcohol, sleepiness slows reaction time, decreases awareness, and impairs judgment. When driving at night, you should A. Always use your high beams. B. Look directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle. C. Increase your following distance. C. Increase your following distance. Increase your following distance when it is difficult to see due to darkness. Use headlights to increase visibility, following the rules for proper use of high beams and low beams. Avoid looking directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle to avoid being blinded by the glare. Which of these statements is true about drinking alcohol and driving? A. If you can walk in a straight line after drinking, it is safe to drive. B. If you are under the legal blood alcohol concentration limit, your driving isn't impaired. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. Being under the influence of alcohol affects your judgment. Good judgment is necessary to react appropriately to things that you see or hear while on the road. Even if you are below the legal blood alcohol limit, consuming any amount of alcohol is likely to affect your ability to drive safely. A diamond-shaped sign means A. Yield. B. Stop. C. Warning. C. Warning. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn drivers of special conditions or hazards ahead. They are typically yellow or orange in color. This road sign means A. Cars in the right lane must slow down. B. No left turn. C. Merge. C. Merge. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign indicates that there could be traffic merging from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow traffic to safely merge. This road sign means A. Hospital. B. Upcoming intersection. C. Railroad crossing. B. Upcoming intersection. Warning signs provide notice to road users of a situation that might not be readily apparent and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers of an upcoming intersection so they may prepare for potential traffic or prepare to turn. To enter a gap in highway traffic. A. Watch only the vehicles behind the gap. B. Check behind you, then watch the vehicle ahead. C. Speed up and let the other vehicles make way. B. Check behind you, then watch the vehicle ahead. Whenever you want to change lanes or enter traffic, you must be sure that there are no vehicles in your way in the lane you want to enter. Always check for traffic to the side of and behind your vehicle before you change lanes. A broken yellow line down the center of a road indicates that A construction zone is ahead. B. Passing is not permitted from either direction. C. Passing is permitted from either direction. C. Passing is permitted from either direction. When broken yellow lines separate the lanes of traffic on a two-lane roadway, any driver may pass when there is no oncoming traffic. What does a traffic signal with a yellow left arrow indicate? A. Drivers should prepare to yield to oncoming traffic. B. The protected left turn is about to end. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. When a protected turn arrow changes from green to yellow, drivers must prepare to yield to oncoming traffic. A yellow arrow indicates that the protected left turn is ending. Reaction time is slower after A. Drinking alcohol. B. Sleeping. C. Working hard. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should not A. Release your seat belt. B. Brace yourself. C. Press your head against the head restraint. A. Release your seat belt. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Brace yourself by pressing against the back of your seat and putting your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. When driving at night and approaching a car from behind, lower your high beam headlights when you are within A. 500 feet. B. 100 feet. C. 200 feet. C. 200 feet. When driving at night, change your high beam headlights to their low beam setting when within 200 feet of another vehicle ahead of you. This sign tells a driver that A. A construction flagger is ahead. B. A police officer is ahead. C. A parking attendant is ahead. A construction flagger is ahead. This sign warns that there is a flagged person ahead. Always follow directions given by a flagger. Flaggers normally wear orange or yellow vests, yellow-green shirts, or bright jackets. They use paddles and red flags to direct traffic through the work zone and to let workers or construction vehicles cross the road. When you see this black and yellow sign, it means A. The road to the right is for one-way traffic only. B. There is a detour to the right due to road construction. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign tells drivers to slow down and prepare for an abrupt change in direction at an extreme angle.